My name is Prabin Kaur and I'm representing about the Alphafold 3 and the AI for drug discovery. First, I will give an introduction on this topic. Alphafold 3 is a breakthrough AI model developed by Google DeepMind for accelerating drug discovery. Alphafold 3 it is considered a major advancement because it can predict full molecule complexes, not just individual protein. This means it can model interaction between protein, nucleic acids like DNA and RNA, and even small molecule drug candidates. What makes AlphaFold 3 unique is its diffusion based architecture. This type of model starts by generating a rough, noisy structure and gradually refine into a highly accurate 3D conformation. It's very different approach compared to the traditional talking of the previous AlphaFold version because it can predict entire complex jointly instead of predicting each component separately and then forcing them together. In the context of drug discovery, this is extremely important. Drug development typically requires understanding how a drug molecule fit inside the binding pocket of a target protein. With AlphaFold 3, researchers can generate structural hypotheses before performing laboratory experiments. This accelerates the early stages of drug discovery, reduces costs associated with the structure biology, and enables scientists to explore targets that were previously very difficult to characterize experimentally. Now I will be discussing about key findings and the critical evaluation. So several studies published in 2025 have evaluated the performance of AlphaFold 3 in real drug discovery settings. This paper collectively showed that the model achieved significantly better accuracy when predicting protein ligand and protein RNA complexes. A particularly important benchmark came from the research on GPCRs, which are some of the most targeted proteins in the pharmaceutical industries. FOL3 often produce binding forces that match experimentally determined structures, sometimes even outperforming conventional docking tools. However, the research also highlights limitations. Alphafold 3 generates statistic predictions. Biological molecules are dynamic, they shift, they are bent, and they adapt different conformations, especially when interacting with ligands. This means that for the protein with higher flexibility or cases where endosphere interactions are important, Alpha3 alone may not be sufficient. Scientists still need physics-based refinement methods such as molecular dynamics, simulation, or experimental confirmation. There are also ethical and practical considerations. Because AlphaFold 3 is a very advanced model, access and licensing must be managed responsibly. Our reliance on AI predictions without laboratory verification can lead to inaccurate conclusions. Additionally, some discussion highlight biosecurity concerns, meaning institutions must follow guidelines for safe use. Overall, while AlphaFold 3 provides a strong starting point, it must be used as a part of balanced workflow that include physics-based modeling and laboratory validation. Next, we'll be looking at the future trajectories and the strategic outlook. Looking at the future direction, AlphaFold 3 it is expected to become a core tool in early stage drug discovery. One of the upcoming advancements is combining AlphaFold 3 with physics-based model to overcome its static prediction limitation. Hybrid workflow where AlphaFold 3 generates initial structures and molecular dynamics, refines them, will likely become standard in both biotechnological and the pharmaceutical industries. Another major development will be the rise of automated end-to-end drug discovery pipelines. This system will use AI to generate structures, screen millions of molecules, and prioritize the most promising drug candidates. This represents a shift toward fast, more cost-effective, and R&D circles. AlphaFold 3 will also contribute to biologics development such as antibodies and vaccines by predicting antibody antigen interference. Researchers can explore therapeutic options much more quickly. Finally, our regulatory bodies are expected to introduce clear guidelines on how AI generated data can be used alongside experimental findings. The technology is not replacing experiment, but it is dramatically accelerating and improving where scientists choose to invest experimental effort. In summary, AlphaFold 3 represents a major step toward more efficient, targeted, and data driven drug discovery.